Hey guys, welcome back to Toad's Cafe Podcast. We're your hosts, Jalen Bates.
And Gabrielle Nevea. Today we're here with actress Symera Jackson.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing?
I love that name so much.
Do you love it? Yeah.
What name?
Cafe.
I was like, your name?
Right?
Yes, I do. I love my name as well. That was so cute.
Anyway, how have you been? How is life?
Life is all right.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of school right now, which is a
Right.
little crazy.
You're in college, right?
I am in college,
Yeah.
a freshman.
Uh-oh. She's grown. It's giving grown.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It's giving grownish.
Exactly.
So what are you studying?
What am I studying? I don't know yet. I'm deciding between majoring in sociology or film and media.
Okay.
I know.
Those are two different.
Very different.
Yeah.
I find sociology really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
To full disclosure, I've always liked psychology, but that has more math.
Yeah.
So I decided maybe not that, but it's the study of, people.
Not a math person?
No, I do like math. Okay, I like it.
Really?
I like math.
Wow.
I do like math.
Don't lie, Symera.
I do. Stop.
Don't lie on the podcast.
Great. I feel like I'm not incredible at it, so I want to.
Ooh, I get that.
To do something that I think I could excel at.
Sure.
But then also film and media is something I've been doing, acting for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to get more on the production side and learning how all that stuff works.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be really interesting. So I'm deciding between both.
Mm-hmm.
So at school, Halloween's coming up. So
Well, I mean,
It is.
Halloween's over now when this comes out.
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness. But
Oh my god, we should have done a Halloween costume thing.
Oh, I had a pumpkin headband, and I didn't know if I should bring it or not because I didn't know when this was going to air.
This air way after
Yeah,
Halloween.
I thought that could be wrong.
No, it's all
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
It
no.
is Halloween coming up, so.
In our
Well,
current
in our
day.
current,
yes.
yeah.
Well, yes.
When you guys are seeing this, it'll be like...
It won't.
Yeah,
It'll
no,
be
no.
Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's
bringing
also
out the
a wonderful
turkey.
time of the year.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Jolly.
Jolly holidays.
Are you a Christmas person?
Very much so.
Over
Yeah?
Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Because I'm not like...
You'd be surprised.
What?
It was giving that you liked Halloween more, so I was ready to like pounce.
No.
Halloween's fun. Don't get me wrong, but I just for me personally, I'm just a scaredy cat. So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Halloween's not my favorite thing.
Oh my God,
I'm a happy Halloween.
We were having this conversation in Chick-fil-A.
We were.
You guys like hate scary stuff, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Well, I don't mind scary stuff, but I would opt
Yeah.
out of it. I would opt out of it if given the chance. I don't mind it. Like I'll go to horror nights, but like
Twice.
if you give
Yeah,
me
twice. You did that twice. I did once.
I did
my
do it
very
twice this
first
year, yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I survived.
Yeah.
how was that experience for
It was
you?
terrifying.
Yeah.
There was a
Absolutely.
dude with a chainsaw like right next to me.
Yeah, yeah,
running
yeah.
in the beginning. It was terrifying. But I survived. I made it out alive.
I
You
call them.
did.
You know what I
High
call
five,
them at
high
horror
five.
nights? You know what I call the chainsaw people?
What do you call
I
them?
call them the greeters.
The greeter.
The greeters, because they're greeting you with horror.
Yeah,
They're like, "Welcome, be scared."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bellman at a hotel.
Like Sweet Life and Zack and Cody.
Oh, I love that. show.
Sure.
Sorry, that's what I thought of.
Or like a
the
receptionist.
Esteban.
They're-
Do you remember Esteban?
Yes, I do.
What are we talking
It's
about?
like
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
I've never seen it.
Remember they had. That's the thing. I haven't seen it. All of it. I've seen some of it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I remember one day it came on like a rerun, and I thought it was like this brand new show, and I was so excited. And my dad was like, "Samara, it's been out for ages.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, this is
No,
not
years,
anything new.
years.
Crushing my soul. But, oh, it's so good. Do you remember they had a Danimals commercial?
They had a Danimals commercial?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember the Danimals commercial.
I remember because I saw someone dressing up as them. For
Yeah, for the
Halloween.
Danimals
Oh,
commercial.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I
Are you
didn't
yeah.
kidding?
No.
Stop. I'll show you afterwards. It's so fun. It's just
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
They're just-
But I mean, speaking of Sweet Life on Deck and commercials and
And
all
acting
that,
and all that jazz.
you know, you're an
All that
actress,
jazz.
Samara. Tell us how you got into
The biz.
it. Give us the
biz.
Hollywood rundown.
Ooh,
you know,
of course. I think for me, I've always just loved to perform.
Mm-hmm.
I know I kind of started off with musical theater. My mom loves musical theater. And so growing up, that's the world that I was in. And
Yeah.
I just found love through that. Just being creative and telling stories. I'm a very talkative, energetic person, so I found that I could express myself and have a lot of fun on stage.
Yeah. That's
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love hearing people that start in theater because it's such a an interesting kind of like
I love
segue to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
theater
Very
to
much
film,
so.
because it's like a lot of the things that you're taught in theater is so
yeah.
useful because you're taught to go big. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're speaking to audiences, but when you're in film, it's so much easier to strip those things away, and I think it's a really great like kind of training for people that are going into TV film.
I would say that it is a good training.
Yeah.
I think it's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And you learn how to put yourself out there. 'Cause
Sure.
when you're in front of an audience, there's the added pressure of if you make a mistake, you have to run with it. You can't cut.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I think in a way it can be, I know it was a bit challenging for me because with film and TV, a lot of the time you have to be more grounded and more kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Whereas
Right.
when you're in theater, you're projecting to the back of the room, and so you can make bigger, bolder choices. When sometimes if
Absolutely.
you're doing like a more of a dramatic show, that type of energy doesn't always work.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like multicam, like for our audience, like shows with the laugh track are that's just like how I like to describe it, because like literally that's what it is. That's like theater, but with cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Disney Nick acting.
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
theater acting,
But with
with
multi-cam, yeah.
you know
I never
it's
thought
on
of it
camera.
that way.
Yeah, because it's like bigger, louder than like traditional.
And you're kind of
TV
playing
and
to get a
film.
reaction too.
That's
Right.
the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah.
of
Yeah.
books and you know where everything is. But it's fun. Yeah, theater kid at heart. Very much
Always.
a theater kid.
Always.
Yes.
What's your favorite musical?
Newsies.
Really?
It's the attitude. Like, it's new. What else would it be?
with what's his name? Oh my god.
Always been.
What's his
Newsies.
name? What's his
Which way
name?
you
The
mean?
guy, the main guy. And
Jack Kelly?
Jack Kelly, but
Okay, are
who
we
played
thinking
it?
the movie or are we thinking
The
musical?
musical. Who played him?
Well, in the OG
Jeremy
cast
Jordan.
was Jeremy Jordan the love of my life. Oh my goodness, that man can sing.
Are you
Do you know
watching?
Jeremy Jordan?
You know?
I don't think I do.
I mean,
I've not seen Newsies.
I know,
that makes
and
more
it makes
sense.
me
You know,
actually
that's-
really sad because
yeah.
that's a big part of. That's a huge part of who I am.
It's
That
musicals?
musical.
Newsies.
Yep.
Oh,
musicals
specifically
and
Newsies. Oh, wow.
No, I mean that show. It's such a long story, but I just
Yeah.
I love that show so much, and it
It's
means
so
so
good.
much to
Oh.
me. It's right up in there.
Yeah. That's great. Okay,
That's
so
great.
Yes.
tell us a
I
little bit
love-
about like Team Kaylie. You know that
Team Kaylie.
Netflix show you did a little while
Yes.
back. How was that experience?
Oh my goodness.
How have you like grown as an actress since then?
Of course. I mean, that was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was in 8th grade. I mean, I was in 8th grade. Now I'm a freshman in college. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
it was a hot minute ago, but it was my first ever series regular,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a massive accomplishment and so incredibly fun. It was the creators of Bunked and Jessie, so it was
Oh wow.
very big and very
Wow.
fun. We had a lot of all the gags, and I remember we were covered in like mud and slime out in the wilderness.
Oh.
I mean, it was really up my. I mean, you have to do that.
Yeah, I know, but like hearing somebody else say it, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I feel bad for you. But then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's
fun.
normal. Yeah.
That wasn't as pleasant though, because the mud, like the gunk, it's like the Nickelodeon slime, but they dye it brown.
Literally,
You're
yeah.
sitting
Oh,
in it,
interesting.
And we had to shoot. I remember like a scene afterwards. We had to keep putting on like the dried, muddy, mucky clothing, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
mud got everywhere. But
The
other than
sacrifices.
that-
Did it get in your hair?
Oh no, it didn't.
Yeah, because I was about to say, we have the same hair texture.
They
That's
put it
not.
in my hair once. There was an episode where Jackie was my character, and she kind of turned into Rambo, like a Rambo-esque character.
Oh.
So there was a scene where I was memories. I was up against like this like wall type of thing, like rocky wall.
Yeah.
And I was camouflaged in it. And so my hair was up in like a frohawk, and it was all the slime gunk in it.
frohawk.
And- yeah, frohawk. It was so fun. I felt really cool. So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, remind me of your question again.
No, just how have you grown?
Yeah,
since
just talking
then?
about
What's
Team Kaylie,
changed?
yeah.
Oh, well, I think again, Jackie was very much up my alley because she was. Oh, I love her so much. She was such a nerd, and I
Yeah.
think I'm such a nerd. And that was very easy to play that character because I connected with her. Over that. I think I've grown a lot with more dramatic acting. I think
Sure.
so I am 18 years old.
Period.
Woo, legal.
But I had my CHESPE, which means you can audition for roles that are legal 18.
Oh, okay.
And so because of that, the type of projects I was auditioning for changed a little more and became more dramatic.
Yeah.
And I think it's, again, just kind of trial and error. Getting to work on that side was really wonderful. But when I was on Team Kaylie, there was one episode I wasn't in out of the 20-something we shot.
Yeah.
And I got to go behind the scenes. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. And I got to go in the editing room. I was in the writer's room.
Cool.
So I got to experience all these different things and learn so much about, again, behind the camera, which I'd never done before. So I think it was just such a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about being a series regular, being on a set every day for 7 months.
Yeah.
And growing as an actor and my abilities and putting myself out there and out of my comfort zone, because we had to do some crazy, wacky things.
Always.
Yeah.
So you were talking about a little bit about dramatic. Is that dramatic acting? Is that something that you want to kind of like play in the future, explore in the future?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
of course. I want to do everything, and I want to learn everything. And I mean, that's what I love about acting so much, is you get to live so many different lives.
Right.
You
Yeah,
get
wow.
to become so many different people, and you get to tell so many different types of stories. And so I want to push myself, and I want to have fun, and I want to be able to experience all these different lives. So I would love to do more dramatic acting.
Yeah. That's great.
Do you feel like being a child star, turning 18? I mean, you signed the chess piece, so like I assume you've experienced this 2 years ago when you you passed the test. But like, do you feel any? I was scared.
When I was
let me just like say. So the CHESP is a test in California that allows you to graduate high school at 15, 16. I was scared to take the test because I didn't think I would pass.
Really?
Just because I haven't taken an in-person test since 7th grade.
Wow. Yeah.
So I've been homeschooled all that time. And I'm a smart kid. Like, I got great grades in school, but it's just like the I was scared to take an in-person test.
No, I
So
get that.
I didn't take it. I could have, but I didn't take it. So when you're transitioning into adult acting, the adult industry, do you feel a pressure to be more aware of the roles that you take? Is there any sort of like mental filter that you have? Because for me, I know like I'm looking for a good segue project. Like I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm not gonna just jump off
straight. Yeah,
Nickelodeon
yeah.
and go to Euphoria. You know, I need like a Greatest Showman or something in between.
Something
it
like a
to,
Zendaya kind of.
like
Yeah.
a segue,
Yeah.
like that's still pays homage to my audience, which is 5 to 18, but also is like still shows my abilities as an actor. So for you, Sam, is it a thing when you're growing up? Do you feel the pressure of breaking out of that child star image, or is it just like a natural progression for you?
I think it's more of a, for me at least, more of a natural progression. I think getting older. I mean, also, this is the thing, because you mentioned Euphoria. A lot of the roles that I auditioned for are my age. So, like, upper high school, college level. But they're casting 25-plus-year-olds.
Yeah.
So
That's-
So the roles that, for the most part, that I'm getting further along with are the ones that are, like, early high school, like freshman age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not, they're not uber crazy. So I feel like being able to, with this industry, kind of continue to play a kid, I'm not too worried about making a big jump.
Because something, in case you're like looking at the entertainment industry from like an outside perspective, something that they value in this industry is the youthful appearance. Because like the younger you look, like I mean, like Riverdale, for example, you have close to 30-year-olds playing seniors in high school, and that's it's. I won't make the claim that it's messed up or anything like that, but it's definitely something that is at the back of everyone's mind. It's like, oh, how can I look younger? At least I know that's yeah. That's how I felt about it.
Let's talk about Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh!
Because you mentioned like people being older and looking younger. I was looking at the actress that plays Drew Barrymore's daughter in the show, and I was like, oh wow, like she must be 15, 16. This woman is like close to 30.
Wow.
Oh, goodness,
She's close to 30. So
yeah.
I'm like, and it's also a thing, and I didn't realize this, like it's true, when you get older physically, like in the yearly calendar, no, I'm not talking about like your how you look. When you get older, like in your age, it does become more difficult to book a role because you're not only like are we 18 going out for 18-year-old roles, there are also 30-year-olds going out for 18-year-old roles. So it's like the competition expands to like a bigger piece of the world, you know.
And I will say that I've noticed in recent times, like with the recent like productions and shows, is that they're actually starting to open up to actual high schoolers playing high schoolers.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm curious to see how that's gonna.
Which is
transform.
nice.
Yeah, I have a question for both of you. Did you? Well, maybe less so. Did you have when you were going out for things? Well, did you ever notice, like from the ages like maybe 14 to 17, that it was like an awkward stage, that there was like not really.
I think that's just puberty.
You?
Oh
no!
No!
Never mind.
I think that plays into the whole sort of chespy thing, because there is that awkward age where you get too old to play like in an elementary school, and then middle school kind of is a little funky, and then like, okay, wait, so I can't do middle school, elementary school, but I can't really do high school either, so where do I fit? So yeah, I feel like that is not, I think I've not necessarily passed that, but now being 18, it's like, I'm 18, guys, like I can't, you're looking for a college student, got one right here.
Absolutely,
but there definitely is that slower stage of you don't really fit in with what casting is looking for age-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like if I had to pick an age, 13, not for myself, but 13 is like the most awkward year to be auditioning, because like it's like the introduction. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, been talking all day, so it's like my mouth is like refusing to grab words. It's like slipping right through my fingers like putty. But
yes,
it is
loving it.
I'm loving
13 is the introduction to teenagehood, but you're also not quite a teenager and you're not quite a kid.
This is for life, or
this is for this. I mean, it can be both, but I'm talking about acting specifically. Like most roles, I remember when I was 12 was like for a 12-year-old, or it was for a 14-year-old. Like it's rarely ever like specifically a 13-year-old. You know what I mean? So if I had to pick an age, I think that's kind of an awkward
I agree
place.
with you. Like, I think it's more of a range too, where it's really awkward. I think. Well, for me specifically, I noticed it. I was like, well. No, but I was lucky. Well, wasn't lucky. It was that kind of hit during COVID, where there was nothing happening anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mentioned COVID a lot, but it genuinely was a really transformative moment. I don't know. Did you guys see it have any impact on how you went about like auditioning or the industry at all? Did you notice that?
COVID?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
No, you the guest. Sure, you're the guest.
I mean, kind of. I mean, obviously, in a way, because no. But in the way of like, self-tapes became the mode of auditioning, which is crazy. Because I know for me, like I always loved being in a room and getting to talk to casting, and then just you can be given feedback right away, and you can alter your tape. So you turn your tape, and it goes in with the countless of others, and you don't always get the opportunity to switch it around.
Yeah.
So I think I used to be really scared of that. Now things are slowly, I know with commercial at least, slowly starting to get into the room. So now it's relearning. Like for example, like slates are crazy for me because it's just you're smiling at the camera, and it's easy because once you're filming a self-tape, you stop. The camera stops. But when you're in the room, like I remember standing there and I'm like, I'm still smiling, and the next person just next to me is talking like, hi, my name is yada yada. And I'm like, okay.
What do I do now?
And I was like, all right. My face is starting to hurt a little bit, but the camera's still rolling. So little things like that where it was completely normal, but now relearning that. And I think it's more impactful to my little sister who also acts.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, she was on Lele.
Yes, she was.
No way, was she really?
Yeah, Kaya was on Lele. You know what's hilarious about Jalen?
What? No, wait.
Getting called out.
Jalen, I like to say we're each other's biggest supporters.
Oh.
No, I know.
But I was talking to him one day, and I said something. I referenced that girl Lele, and he looked at me with such a blank face. There was no expression. There was no thought behind his eyes. And I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I'm gonna be honest with you right now." Now, mind you, Jalen and I have been friends since childhood. He was my first friend I ever made in LA. So I did not expect this response from him. I looked at this man. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen that girl Lele. When I see it on Netflix, I scroll past." I was like,
Wow.
Listen, I don't know if I said it like
you did, and then you continued to proceed to say.
Not you adding on.
You said, because at the time there was this big competition between the Minions on Netflix, because the Minions was number 1 and Lele was number 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And yes, it just when I see it pop up, I click on the Minions. I said, Jalen, please. But see, I love Jalen because he humbles me. He keeps me grounded.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, sometimes
He's the weight.
Nice to hear.
He's the weight holding on to my.
I know, but
I mean, do love the.
But that's with love, though, because like that's with love.
with love.
That feels like.
I just had to mention it because it was so funny.
I'm so proud of your accomplishments.
No, you're not.
Yes,
Yes, you are, which is like high key sweet.
And as an update,
Like,
I
you don't have to
watched
watch
that
it.
girl Lele now.
You have.
I have watched an episode.
As you should.
Yep.
As you should. Bars.
I watched it after. Did you say bars?
You would know if you watched the show.
Speaking of watching things, can you watch yourself on TV? Like, can you watch? Like, do you?
That's such a good segue.
That's a good question. Can I?
Yeah.
I can. I think it gets a little awkward sometimes because I'm like, ooh, I made that choice. But I think sometimes like thinking, because I can get very critical of myself.
Okay.
So looking at it back, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch it again. But
Yeah.
I think I don't really mind that much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a guest star on Chicago Fire, which was super fun.
Oh.
And it was wonderful. It was such a great experience. And I remember watching that and I was like, oh, this is so fun. This is so cool. And there I am. And this is all going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I think maybe I've grown out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you watch yourself? Can you watch
yourself?
I now looking back at the work that I did when I was a lot younger, it's so much easier to watch myself.
Yeah.
But like now, like I still find it very hard because
Really?
it's very. I don't know. Doing it in the moment, it's like it feels right,
Yeah,
and then
no,
you watch
exactly.
it back, and you're like, oh, you notice every single thing that you were
That's
like.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I hear that.
It's about self-criticism.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I think mine's the opposite. Like
Mm.
when I watch myself younger, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I was so small and little. And look what I was doing there Versus now.
It's like,
Yeah.
What about you?
What about me?
Can you watch yourself?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Really?
I would watch myself all day long if I could.
Wow.
It's giving narcissism. No, but I don't know. I think for me, it's like reminiscing on the memory of shooting it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
that's
not
really
so much
fun.
like I'm watching myself. I'm more like watching the product of like, oh my gosh, that was
Yeah.
such a long day. I wonder what that looked like.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like I could honestly care less about my performance.
Sure.
I mean, that's not true. But
No,
you know what I mean?
no.
Like I'm not watching myself over and over again to be like, you go, girl. It's more like, oh wow, that's what that looks like finished.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
That's
that
great.
mindset.
And like usually when we're shooting specifically on Lele, I don't get to see the B storyline. So usually like Peyton's storyline and Tiffany and sometimes I don't get to see it in person.
Yeah.
So like I like to watch the full episode to see like what they did that week.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
have you've watched like every episode of Layla? Have you watched it?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I've ever watched Wits Academy all the way through.
We should have a watch party.
We should not. We should
I would
not.
love to do that.
We should have a watch party.
Of Lele? Sure.
No, of Wits Academy.
Oh, no.
both.
Of Team Kaylee,
And
too.
Team
Just-
Kaylee.
all in.
And Team Kaylee.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
We'll alternate
yeah.
everything.
That's going to be a long...
It's a long-
So I just want to like kind of segue into another one of your projects that I noticed it goes viral like once a year, and I see it on my TikTok feed, which is the Sandy Hook PSA that you did
Right.
a
Oh,
while back,
yeah.
and that's like heavier,
Very
and
much so.
that's and your performance in that is incredible,
thank
by the
you
way,
so
and it's
much.
so like when I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, I know her, like she's incredible, like
Yeah.
and telling that. Can you talk us through like telling that story and kind of like how you approached it?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Well, so for people who don't know, so it was the back to school PSA, I believe, for Sandy Hook Promise. So that's about the Sandy Hook school shooting. It was a heavy thing to even audition for, I remember I didn't initially audition for the girl at the end in the bathroom. It was something else, but it was like randomly thrown in by the casting director. It was like, oh, can you cry? And so I sat on a chair and I like sobbed, and he was like, that's wonderful, thank you. And I was like, great. And I remember walking out being like, I think I did a good job, but that was really hard.
Yeah.
And then filming it was hard. That's I need a better word, but
yeah.
Because that was in the bathroom stall, and I'm in the very back of the stall, and I think for me, because I remember it was a wonderful director, and he was asking me like, how did you get there, you know, in your space? And first of all, you just think about how extraordinarily tragic that whole situation was, and especially with, you know, our epidemic of gun violence today,
Absolutely.
how terrifying this whole situation is. So just it was just something you felt in your body. So sitting all tied up in a ball, and you're on the very edge of the toilet seat, and then we had another actor for some of the takes be slamming open all of the remaining stalls. So it was very hard, but it was a very important thing to be shot. It was the PSA itself, I thought, was done very beautifully. I mean, it won an Emmy.
It's so powerful.
I'm so proud to say that I was a part of that.
It's so powerful, and I think that's such a beautiful thing as actors, is telling even how tragic and horrible a story might be, being able to tell it in a different, to bring awareness to issues like that. It's so powerful, and it was incredible.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I also think it kind of speaks to what a great actor you are, because you're so light and fun and like you're like a ray of sunshine. And then to do something that's so like heavy and truthful and awful, you know, and have it be believable is really like remarkable as an artist.
No, seriously, I wish you guys could feel Symera's energy all the time, because it's so
it's like, impossible to be sad around you.
Like, it's
like literally, it's like, you know.
Yeah. That's so lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. I love you guys.
You're like a flower.
You make me smile. Oh my
God.
God.
You're a flower.
Oh, which flower?
A daisy.
A daisy.
A daisy is my favorite flower, actually. So you remind me of my favorite flower.
That's sweet.
Oh, you guys.
You know.
Thank you so much.
We love you too. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast,
thank you so
Symera.
much.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna have you back, because there's so much that we didn't touch on.
We need to hear some updates too. What's going on in your life after the strike is going on? You know?
Yeah. When the world opens back up and the world is normal.
Because there's a lot happening right now, and
we're
getting through it.
We are, all of us. Oh my goodness.
You know.
So much.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching Toad's Cafe podcast. Again, we're your hosts, Jalen Bates
and Gabrielle Nevaeh. This is Symera Jackson, the one, the only. Check her out on social media and all of her projects. We love you guys so much. Have a good one.
Bye.